Most people think travel planning is fun, but if we're honest, for many of us it's actually stressful. You open 10 or 20 tabs. You compare flights. You compare hotels. You read reviews. You worry about prices, cancellation rules, check-in times, deposits, hidden fees, and whether the place will really look like the photos. And very often you don't book the perfect trip. You book something good enough because you're tired of deciding. In the near future, this whole process is going to change. Instead of searching and comparing, you'll describe what you want in simple human terms. Not filters, not drop-down menus, feelings. You'll say something like, I want a calm trip with nature, good food, and no stress. Or, I want a short adventure but not exhausting. Or, I want something romantic but not crowded or noisy. And your AI won't show you a long list of options. It will make a plan. Behind the scenes, the AI works like a real travel assistant, but much faster and much more systematic. The first thing it does is build a practical travel profile for you, not in a creepy way, in a useful way. It learns things like, do you prefer quiet or lively places? Do you like a full schedule or lots of free time? How much uncertainty can you tolerate before a trip becomes stressful? Do you care more about comfort or more about new experiences? Are you sensitive to noise, crowds, long transfers, or complicated check-ins? It also adds your hard limits, your budget, your travel dates, your departure airport, your luggage needs, your need for flexible cancellation, and any physical or time limits you have. Once it understands you, it starts looking for options, but it doesn't search the way humans do. Humans look at photos, prices, and star ratings. The AI does that too, but it also reads the part most people don't really have time to read properly: the reviews. And not just a few reviews, thousands of them, in seconds. It doesn't read them like a person. It analyzes them for patterns. It looks for repeated problems. It notices if many guests complain about noise, or confusing check-in instructions, or surprise fees, or bad Wi-Fi, or cleanliness issues, or safety concerns in the neighborhood, or slow responses from the host or property. From this, it builds something like a risk profile for each place. Noise risk, cleanliness risk, check-in failure risk, hidden fee risk, support response risk, safety risk. Then it compares those risks with your travel profile. If you hate noise, places with noise complaints drop out. If you hate uncertainty, places with messy check-in patterns drop out. If you travel with family, places with safety complaints drop out. If you want calm, high-chaos neighborhoods drop out. So instead of trying to find the best rated place, the AI is trying to find the place that is least likely to cause you problems. In other words, it doesn't optimize for the cheapest deal. It optimizes for peace of mind. But it doesn't stop there. The AI also looks at what's happening in the real world, right now and in the near future. It checks local news, city event calendars, transport authority updates, strike announcements, construction permits, weather forecasts, safety advisories. In seconds, it can see things like, there will be major roadworks near this hotel during your stay. There's a big festival in this area that week, which means crowds and noise. Public transport strikes are planned on your arrival day. This region is expecting extreme weather. This neighborhood has ongoing infrastructure problems. Then it asks a simple question: how will this affect your trip? If your profile says you hate crowds, it avoids festival areas. If you need reliability, it avoids strike-affected routes. If you want calm, it avoids construction zones. If you're sensitive to heat or cold, it avoids risky weather windows. And if the risk is too high, it doesn't just warn you. Changes the plan. Different neighborhood, different hotel, different arrival day, different transfer route. So instead of discovering the problem when you arrive, the problem never enters your trip at all. This also changes how booking works. Instead of you browsing for hours, the AI prepares a complete plan. Flights, accommodation, transfers, and even a light activity outline if you want one. You don't scroll through endless options anymore. You review a proposal. You check the important parts: price, location, comfort level, cancellation rules. And then you approve it. The booking websites don't disappear. They stay in the background like infrastructure. The AI uses them, but your main interface is the assistant, not the search results page. Now, here's something really important. Two people can stay in the same hotel. One says, amazing, authentic, great location. The other says, too noisy, felt unsafe, never again. That's not always because the hotel is good or bad. Very often it's a mismatch. One person loves lively neighborhoods. Another person needs silence to relax. One person enjoys surprises. Another person finds them stressful. A lot of travel complaints are not about bad places. They're about wrong places for the wrong person. This is where AI helps the most, by matching people to places better. Not best overall. Not most popular. But best for you. And even with all that planning, things can still go wrong. Flights get delayed. Check-ins fail. Rooms are not as expected. In this future, the AI doesn't stop working after the booking is done. It monitors your trip. If check-in doesn't work, it helps you contact the property immediately. If the room is not as described, it compares the listing with what you got. If there's a dispute, it gathers evidence. Messages, screenshots, policies. If support is needed, it helps open the case and track the process. It also warns you before you make expensive mistakes. If you try to book another place without approval, it warns you. If a rule could cost you money, it highlights it before you act. If a decision could break the policy, it explains the risk first. In a way, it's like having a travel manager in your pocket. Not replacing your decisions, but protecting you from unnecessary stress and costly errors. Of course, this isn't magic. There are real limits and real risks. AI can make mistakes. You still need control and confirmations. There must be transparency about why something is recommended. There must be strong privacy protection for your data. But even with those limits, the direction is clear. We're moving away from, here are 1,000 options, good luck, and toward, here is a plan designed for you to make your trip easier, safer, and less stressful. And that's the real promise of AI in travel. Not to make trips cheaper. Not to make them more complicated. But to remove friction, reduce risk, and let you focus on the experience instead of the logistics. So here's my question to you. Would you trust an AI to plan and manage your entire trip? And if yes, what would you want to control? The budget, the comfort level, the flexibility, the style of the trip? Let me know in the comments. Because this future isn't science fiction anymore. It's already starting.